Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Samreen, your host for today's session. Thank you for joining us. We know your time is valuable and we are glad you chose to spend it with us as we explore smart GST and TDS compliance. This session will help you understand the hidden costs of non compliance, simplify GST and TDS obligation, and see how NoBrokerHood makes the entire process smoother and stress free. If you have any questions during the session, please use the question and answer form link. I have shared it in the chat here. I will keep sharing it. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can just drop the question there and all the questions will be answered at the end during the Q&A session. To guide us through today's topic, we have Akash Mishra, our expert trainer. He'll walk us through everything from understanding your society's GST liability to automating TDS management and making audits hassle free. With that, let's get started. Akash, over to you.
Thank you, Samrin, for the warm welcome and for setting up today's session. Hello, everyone. I welcome you all. My name is Akash Mishra, and for the last 5 years, I have been working closely with the RW societies. And during this time, I have seen firsthand the challenges societies face in managing the GST and TDS compliances. Major issues, right? So from the frequent committee, why these are issues happen? So from frequent committee changes to manual record keeping, and these issues often lead to uncertain penalties and high cost and loss of efficiency as well. That brings us to the agenda of today's webinar, that how we can help societies so that they can move into the towards into the automation, how to reduce the compliance cost, and how to improve efficiency while managing GST and TDS compliances. Let's understand what we are going to understand, what we are going to discuss in next 30 minutes. So we will talk about the challenges why GST and TDS is very challenging for the society. We'll talk about the hidden and financial operational cost, and then we will talk about what is the integrated solution which we are providing in NoBrokerHood. And I'll also walk through with a live demonstration of NoBrokerHood product, that this is how it will help you to filing your GST and TDS returns. And at the end, we will take all your Q&As. So I would highly appreciate during that webinar, if you have any questions, Samreen already shared here the link. You can click on that particular link, add your comment, add your questions there, and I'll answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. All right, let's understand. Let's understand whether the GST is applicable for your society or not. So to check that whether the GST is applicable for your society, we have a two conditions, and both the condition need to be fulfilled. What is that? First, your total turnover for an annual is more than 20 lakh, yes or no. If it is no, then there is a no GST. But if it is yes, then we have to check another condition. Now, what is that? We have to check what is your payment collection per month per member. If it is more than 7,500, then GST is mandatory. Otherwise, there is a no GST. So if both the condition is applied for your society, then only the GST is applicable. Now there's a big questions coming here. What if GST, billing amount is more than 7,500? Let's say billing amount per month per member is 10,000 rupees. Then the GST is applicable on excess of 7,500 rupees, that is 2,500 rupees, or 10,000 rupees. So the answer is, once you exceed the limit 7,500, then the GST will be applicable on entire amount. Okay. Let's talk about the real cost of GST non-compliance. So we know that, sometimes we feel that compliances is very costly. So there is a quote which is known as, if you think compliance is costly, then try non-compliance, right? So if we do not follow the compliances, then what can happen? One is that if GST is applicable on you, the government, the department will issue a backdated tax demand along with all those your GST amounts, GST payable amount, including interest rate, then heavy penalty as well. And you have to pay all those late fees also, and while you're filling your returns. So it's very high, cost on that. Then we have permanent loss of ITC. Now, we in GST, we talk about input tax, output tax, what is net tax payable. To understand that, I have created one table. Let's understand with this particular example. I'll explain the keywords and the technical words of GST. So let's say here we have already added in this particular table that society collected the maintenance charges from the member, which is 10 lakh rupees, where the GST is 18%. So 1 lakh 80,000 rupees will be output tax collected, right? Now, at the same month, society do having certain expense bill which they have received from their vendors, like security services, housekeeping bills, lift MC bills, all those things. So the total bill which they have, like society received, inclusive GST, that is known as an input tax credit. So when you collect the 10 lakh rupees and your tax liability shows that output tax liability is 1 lakh 80,000, ideally your net tax payable is not 1 lakh 80,000. Your net tax liability will be output tax minus input tax will be your net GST liability. So here you can see that 1 lakh 80,000 is your output GST output tax, 72,000 rupees is your input tax credit, and your net GST liable is 1 lakh 8,000 rupees. Now, but if you are not following with the compliances, then what happened? You will lose the ITC. So we have to ensure that that is also come under the cost, that is your indirect financial cost. When when the tax, backdated tax demand issued by the government and department, in that case, CA is also having very high professional legal fees. Then the department also go in an intrusive audit as well, and it is a personal liability for the committee member as well, and it will reduce the trust also in among the all those residents. So these are the certain indirect financial costs of GST non-compliance. Now let's talk about why we are not able to do that, why we are not able to comply with that GST norms. Lack of expertise and continuity. So as a management committee member, we are just contributing towards the societies and managing everything by our own. So we are a volunteers. Sometimes we are not core accountant who is having all those knowledge, right? So, and another reason is our committee members keep changing. So we hand over the committee member, from one committee member to another committee member, the society's entire roles and responsibilities. That is the one challenge. Second, manual and fragmented system. So we use Tally software, we use Excel software and paper registers and everything, where all those data is on different platforms that again create challenges. Inaccurate invoicing, which is a very important. So under the GST norms, GST rules and regulations, when we are issuing GST invoices, tax invoices, where we have to enter correct SAC code and HSN code. Now, what is SAC code? Servicing accounting code. For each goods and services, what we are providing as a services or as a goods to our members, there is a unique code. That code need to be mentioned in that particular invoices. If we are not doing it, then again there is a non-compliance. Missing ITC. So because we are not aware whether what is my net tax liability, which I just discussed. So you can miss that your 72,000 rupees and you're paying entire 1 lakh 80,000 as a GST. So you're paying excess GST as well. And TDS compliance, that is also a nightmare because every month we are taking services from vendors. We are collecting bills from the vendors, then we are making the payment. And when you make the payment to vendors, again there is a TDS compliance applicable. Let's talk about TDS compliances. So if you are making a bill, if you have received any services from vendors such as security services, housekeeping, repairs, if there is a single bill in the for the entire year is which is more than 30,000 rupees, again the TDS is applicable. If the annual bill is more than 1 lakh rupees, right, then again the TDS will be applicable. Similarly, if we are making a payment to the auditors, lawyers, and consultant, again TDS will be applicable. If we have occupied some space for that office rent, then there would be a TDS applicable. So there is a certain cases for the society as well where we have TDS applicability. Now, how we can resolve all those problems? This is the challenges which we have discussed till now, right? Here we come with the NoBrokerHood, your one-stop solutions from chaos to control. What is that? In NoBrokerHood platform, we can do the billing that we all as a management committee we are using. We all know we have recently arranged a session, the kind of webinar itself, where we have discussed entire billing method, how you can do billing for your societies and how you can manage your accounting for your society. If you have missed that one, you can always go and check it on YouTube channel of No Brokerhood. So with No Brokerhood system, you can do all those members billing, accounting as well. It's not No Brokerhood is not just not a only billing software. We are one-stop solution for your all accounting and expenses record. So you can do your accounting as well. You can record your expenses as well. Then we also provide a payment gateway in our No Brokerhood application where resident can directly make the payment and payment will be settled in your uh, society bank account, right? So what exactly happened here? It will help you to do the reconciliation as well. This is what we have already covered. What else we have to cover today is compliance engine. So in our dashboard, we provide you GST and TDS ready report, which will help you to file your GST returns. It will help you to not lose your input tax credit also, right? Now, let's understand, your questions might come as an Akash, how we can do that? Can you showcase to us? Obviously, let's understand how No Brokerhood can solve these challenges, right? So for that, this is the dashboard which I wanted to present with you. This is the No Brokerhood dashboard. You can go here in a financial management tab. Under the financial management tab, we have a reports tab. So for this webinar purpose, I have already generated a bill and along with the GST invoices and everything that billing and invoicing everything you can see in the billing tab, bill register. So you can go in a bill register, whatever the invoices we have already raised, you can check from here. So you can see that this is the billing amount which we have already generated. Cleaning charges 1,000 rupees, common area maintenance charge 2,500, sinking fund 5,000 rupees, and the GST is applicable here. Okay. Now, once the GST is applicable here, now what we are providing you GST ready report. Under the reports tab, we have here a GST reports. You can go here in the GST report. You can click on GSTR1 report, select that particular month and click on submit. Now a report will be shared to you on your email ID. This particular report is GST ready report. So all those files which is required to file on a GST portal, that informations, you can convert that Excel file. If you want to make some changes, you can change that also. The same Excel file you can convert into the JSON file and you can upload that file in a government in a GST portal to file your GST returns. This is that easy to filing your GST returns. So our accountant will be also there. So your accountants are also there. They understand that we can upload the GSN files in directly in our GST portal and the data will be visible and then we can verify everything and we can submit it. So it will reduce your workload. Second, apart from the GSTR1 report, we also provide GSTR3B report as well. So what exactly the GSTR3B report? So under the GST rules and regulation, every month and quarterly you have to file the GSTR1 and every month you have to file the GSTR3B where you have to pay the taxes as well. So you can go in a GSTR3B, you can select here particular month and you can click on submit. Now what will happen? It will show you what is your total taxable value, what is your CGST tax, what is your SGST tax. And apart from that, it will also help you to understand your ITC as well, right? So whatever the vendor bill you have already received, you can see that that is my ITC. So it will not just give you your total taxable amount. It will give you that your output tax, your input tax, and your net payable tax, right? So you have to pay the taxes as CGST 36,000, SGST 36,000, right? So it will give you the complete picture. What is your taxable supply? What is your nil rated supply? Everything as per the GST portal. So you can verify all those data with the GST 3B portal from GST portal, and you can verify from the No Brokerhood portal, and everything is matched. You can proceed with that filing your GSTR 3B returns as well. So this is how we can automate your return filing of GST. We can also with the same process, we have TDS report also. So how exactly the TDS report work? For that, we have to add vendors bill. Like as I mentioned, When we receive a bill from vendors, then we deduct the payment, and whatever the payment we have deducted, we have to pay it to government every month, of 7th. Let's say whatever the GST, whatever the TDS has been collected in the month of August, the payment need to be submitted to government through challan by 7th of September, right? So this is the compliance. This is the government norms. So how exactly it helps us to file your to deposit your TDS amount and filing your TDS return as well. So you can see that we have a vendors tab. I have already added certain invoices here. So you can see that I have added one invoices, AK and Associates. The billing amount is 50,000 rupees. Here we have vendor amount is 45,000 and we have deducted TDS 10%. So you can find the TDS rate and everything here. Here also we have deducted TDS at 1%. So as per the society rules and regulation, if the GST is applicable, the TDS will be not applicable on GST, right? So everything can be configured here. And once we have configured all those invoices in our system will be automatically generate you TDS return as well. How? You can go in the reports tab. Under the reports tab, we have here TDS reports. You can click on the TDS report. You can click on filter, select that particular month, select that particular year, and search for it. If you're looking for a specific section wise details, you can do that as well. And here you will be getting that what is your all those invoices which you have received from different vendors. You can find the total details here, like what is your basic amount, what is the rate of TDS, what is the TDS amount we have deducted, and you can download this in Excel and generate your challan as well to make the payment. So with this particular system, with this particular no brokerhood dashboard, GST and TDS ready report, now you can comply with the government norms as well. You can always raise your concerns in the Google form which we have shared here. I'll take your all your questions and answers at the end. Let's understand what we have learned till now. So we understand GST invoicing and reports. So with our system, you can generate GST tax invoices as well. There are certain societies where they required e-invoicing as well. So as per the society need, if you have to generate e-invoices, then we can help you to generate e-invoices as well with our no brokerhood system itself. Now you cannot miss your ITC and effortless TDS compliance and returns. Let's understand what we have discussed. So GST invoicing and reports. Now no brokerhood can automate your GST calculations, compliant with the invoices, and provide one-click report for GSTR1 and GSTR3B, which will reduce your manual work and chartered accountant fees also, right? So it will reduce your cost as well. Never miss your ITC again now. So as I discussed in GSTR3B, right? I would like to show you again that. So we have GST report. Under the GST report, we have GSTR3B. I'll select that particular month. Now you can find right here. This is your output tax. This is your input tax. So it will show your net tax payable as well, right? So now it's not like, sometime as a management committee, we are depositing the entire amount which we have collected as an output GST. We consider that this is our tax liability. No, this will be, in this output tax, you can minus the input tax, then the remaining amount will be your net tax payable. So in our portal, we can find that net tax payable. So you will not miss your ITC. There will be no financial cost now. Effortless TDS compliance and returns. So within a one click, now you can generate the total TDS which you have deducted for that particular month or quarter. You can download the report. You can create challans now using the government portal, and you can file your returns as well, right? Let's understand what is before and after. So earlier, if we are scattered with multiple places, like we have tally, we have manual paperwork, we are depending on the Excel as well. Now we are providing you a unified platform for all your financial data. It's not only for the billing, it is for the complete accounting process. Earlier, there's a manual invoicing which prone to errors. Now everything, once you have configured all your GST, HSN number, SAC code, your GST tax rate, all those details, automatically every month the system will be generating invoices for you. Earlier, we lost the input tax credit. Now you can claim full ITC and track the utilization and everything. Stressful 3 days tracking and compliances. Now with our vendors methodology, how we record the vendor transactions, and with TDS ready report, you can file your TDS return as well. So the audit trials is also not transparent earlier. So now we have transparent audit trials. Now how exactly our system works? So I would like to show you, we have here activities tab, we have billing audit trials. So in societies, we have different members. There is a one, there is a 2 to 3 accountant, maybe possible. The multiple accountants are there, right? So whatever the accountant is there, whatever the number of persons are there, whatever the activities they are doing, a log will be created. So if some fraud happens, if something happened in your society, you'll not you don't need to worry now that who actually did this particular transaction. So right, sometimes this fraud also happen in societies. So now you can track all those transactions, whether it is new transactions recorded, whether it is modified, who modified at what time. So you can find that this is the one receipts which I have recorded here, you know created by this, and what date we have created this. All those records you can find here, right? So this is how exactly this billing audit trials work. So we provide you the billing audit trials as well. Heavy dependency on chartered accountant. So earlier for that everything we are depending on the CAs. Now it empowered with no brokerhood. It empowered to the management committee also to do all these tasks as well, right? High compliance cost with no brokerhood. Your compliance cost will be also reduced. This is what I wanted to discuss about the GST and TDS. Now let's talk very important topic, income tax and audit compliance for the society. Now, it is also a very important process and compliance for the society. Now, what exactly it is? Compliance is not just a statutory duty. It is a key to a society's financial health, transparency, and credibility, right? So, why we do that? So, verification of the financial data, checking your balance sheet, trial balance, income and expenditure accounts, all those things. Audit will help you to give a transparency, and it will help you to improve the members trust also. And as per the government norms, we have to comply with that income tax rule also, and as per the society act also. Even the society is having their own bylaws as well, so we can maintain that as well, right? Now, when every year when we go and for that audit process, there are certain documents which is required, which we have to submit to our accountant for the auditing, right? What are the documents we have to submit? First is financial record, your cash book, bank book, general ledgers, members ledger, your all fund bank statements. Everything need to be, deposit submit with your chartered accountant or maybe for the auditors. Then members billing. So we have to submit the members billing, total number of bills which we have generated, what is the total payment we have collected, right? All those details we have to submit. Everything you will get in No Brokerhood dashboard. So we have reports tab. You can find here general ledgers, member ledgers. You can find the profit and loss account, trial balance report. You will get a MIS report also as per your requirement. So all these reports, if we have maintained the entire data, entire accounting process, not just billing, if we have recorded all our expense transactions as well in our portal, then everything can be visible. This will be your one-stop solutions. You'll not worry to share the data on different platform to the chartered accountant also. Even what you can do is you can give your auditor to no brokerhood dashboard access. So we have that feature as well, where you can give them a access management, only auditor access, right? So that person can only audit things. He can view everything. He cannot make any changes. So you don't need to share the data. You just need to give them an auditor access. The person can access the dashboard. The person can view all those information, and then they can audit everything, right? This is what all I wanted to discuss about the financial data. But there is one more important informations which we required as per the Society Act. What is that? What is that, Akash? So that is statutory and legal documents. Society do have their certificates, registration certificate, and bylaws which they have to maintain. we do have our general meetings where we have to maintain that what we exactly discuss, all those MOM and everything, right? Previous year audited financial statement which we have to submit, PAN card and TAN numbers of the society. What is the TDS we have deposited and TDS challans and quarterly returns filing, everything, right? If applicable, everything need to share all those data to with them. Now, how exactly we are doing currently? So currently we are maintaining everything in a manual paperwork, right? We can automate that also. How? Let's understand that. We have two feature for that. One is here you can find that under the society management, we have document repository feature. You can go in a document repository feature, like we create folders in our computers and laptops. You can create the folders here, and you can upload the files as well. You can upload the files as per your requirement, and you can create the different folders as well. So that auditor and any and you can manage as well whether you want to share it with all management committee member, all tenant, all resident, or whether it is all owners, to whom you want to share that information. So as per your requirement, you can share with them. So those person can access the data as well, right? As per your requirement. So we have that process where we can restrict it whether we want to share it with the residents or only with the management committee member, and we can configure as per our requirement. As well as we also provide bylaws register. So societies having their own bylaws. So you can find here under the reports tab. Under the reports tab, you can find here we have bylaws register and import registers. So what we can do is under the import register, we have different registers such as nomination register, share register, I form, J form. As per the society requirements and statutory compliance report, we have to maintain all these records, right? So what you have to simply just click on this particular nomination register. You will get a template. You can download this template. You enter the information in that particular Excel template and upload same file here. And later on, whenever it is required, you can go in a bylaw register. You just select that particular nomination register and submit it. All the information will be visible on dashboard. Now you're not supposed to maintain it in Excel file or manual file. So it will reduce your paperwork as well, right? With these two features, with the our document repository and bylaws and import register feature. So this is how we can, with all these features, we can keep a proper track record of your financial records, member billing, expenses, and statutory and legal documents as well. So everything can be maintained at NoBrokerHood dashboard. So this is what I just discussed. That we have bylaws register, we have a reports tab where we can get all those informations. Let's talk about whether society comes under the fall, whether they have to pay, whether they have to file their income tax returns or not. So, as per the Income Tax Act, that society is treated as an association of person, and for them, the ITR is applicable, ITR 5. And if there is an audit is required, then the due date for the filing of your income tax return is 31st October. So yes, if that ITR is, if audit is required, then you have to go through with that audit process also, and you have to go with that filing your income tax returns as well. Very important concept. This is a core for the societies. What is that? The principle of mutuality. What exactly this concept tell us? This concept explain us that the society is having certain income which is exempt under the Income Tax Act, and there are certain incomes which is taxable under the Income Tax Act. Now let's understand which type of income is taxable and which type of income is not taxable. So generally, that exempted income is which we have collected from our members, right? Like maintenance charges, services charges, sinking fund charges, repair fund contributions, water and electricity bills, interest charge on outstanding dues if some members are not making the payment, parking charges which we have collected. So if we are collecting certain charges for the common expenses, then generally it is exempted under the mutuality concept. Now, what is generally taxable income? So let's say we have some collected some excess fund and we deposited it in nationalized bank and private bank. Then that particular, and when we are receiving interest on that particular amount, that will be a taxable. We sometimes offer rental services, no rental income from the mobile towers or advertising, hoarding, or canopy activities. We also get some revenue from there as well. That is taxable. We rent our community hall as well, so to non-members, right? If we are renting out our community halls and other properties to non-member, then it will be taxable. Sale of scrap or old newspaper, etc., that will be a taxable. Charges for use of facilities by non-member, so that will be taxable. So these are the income which is taxable, and these are the certain income which we have discussed which is non-taxable. Let's talk about now what are the common pitfalls and common mistakes we as a management committee member we are doing as of now, and what should be the best practices for the societies to overcome from all those issues. So first is mixing income. So as I discussed now, we have a mutuality concepts. Under that, whatever the income we have received from our members, such as members' contributions, that will be a non-taxable. Whatever the income we have earned apart from the members, like non-member income or maybe interest earned from the nationalized bank or private bank, that will be a taxable. Again, ignoring the TDS provision, that shouldn't be happened. If you are making a payment someone more than 30,000 rupees or a 1 lakh for an entire year, then the TDS will be applicable, and you must deduct the TDS and deposit to that government, right? Through creating a challan, TDS challan and everything. Poor record keeping. So everything, maintaining that whatever the total amount we have generated, what is the total expenses we have, everything need to be maintained, and that should be at one place actually. So that whenever we have to share with the auditors, whenever we have to share with the income tax department, so we just share them one consolidated file. So it will help them to assess as well, right? Delay filing of the returns. So that also we should avoid. We should file our returns and everything on time. Let's talk about our management committees members. You might ask having some questions that Akash, this is a very technical thing. Also, we are facing some such issues. What is the solutions? Can no brokerhood help in this case? Yes. So we have, apart from this, our no brokerhood applications. What we offering is no brokerhood accounting services product also. If you wanted to opt our ASP services as well, so we will help you to comply with your day-to-day operations of your accounting. We help you to the bookkeeping, you're doing your bank reconciliation, finalization of your accounts, coordinating with your auditors whenever it is required, so that they can timely file their society's income tax return. So whenever auditors need any information, our ASP team will helping with all those relevant information and data, right? It will eliminate your delay penalties. It will reduce your financial cost, which we just discussed. You will not miss your ITC amount under the GST rules, and you will be filing your ITRs and TDS on time, which will eliminate your that late fees and penalties. Everything can be automated and transparent. So whatever the transactions we are collecting from the payment we are collecting with the main from our members, whatever the amount we are spending, everything will be recorded. All your transactions at a one place. And expert tax management. Whenever you need any tax suggestions or any informations related to the rules of societies, they will helping out with you. That also. So what I'll suggest you, your path to peace of mind, maybe if you think that this particular thing, this particular services can help you, then what you can do is you can schedule a demo, see how exactly no brokerhood can transfer your society's compliance process, how it can make it your life more smoother and helpful, and then we can process further. This is what I wanted to discuss with all. So over to you, Samri.
Thank you so much, Akash, for that insightful walkthrough. Now, let's quickly move on to the question and answer session. If you haven't already, please drop your questions in the Q&A form. I am
All right, we lost your voice summary in between. No problem. So, committee members, as discussed, now this is time for the Q&A. I'll answer all your questions one by one here. So you have a form here which is shared by Samreen in the chat box. You can fill that form. We will answer all your questions. So the first questions is coming from Raj Kamal ji, that you know. Okay, so assistance needed to understand all functionalities under the financial management sections. Definitely. So what we can do is, Raj Kamal ji, we will schedule a proper meeting where our team will be helping you what exactly the other features which you can use, and how we can automate your all your compliance part and everything. We have another question from Mr. Harshal ji, that we do not have GST number, but we pay GST to contractors, auditors, as asked to transfer GST in expense. How to do it? Correct. Very nice questions. So we have so for the societies, if GST is not applicable, right? Then that GST amount should be treated as an your expense. So what you can do is, Samrin, could you please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, Akash.
Perfect. So we have here vendor tab. Under the vendor tab, we can record those vendors bill, right? So what you can do is you can add here that amount, and we can, there is no GST. You can enter that entire amount. Let's say 1 lakh rupees the invoice amount and 18,000 is GST amount. So you can add the entire amount as a 1 lakh 18,000 as an expense here. That will be treated as an expense. So you can make it as an expense by entering just that as an amount here as an 1 lakh 18,000. It will be counted as an expense. The simple thing. You don't need to make some changes or some anything. Harshal am I able to answer your queries? You can write down even in the chat box if you have any follow-up questions as well. Uh, Amresh ji has having one question. Says, yes, can we maintain and record income and expense, particularly of the society in NBH, as an accounts manager access? Correct. Yes. So what we provide to accounts manager access the entire financial management system. So as an manager, you can access all those transactions tab. You can record your members invoices. You can record the receipts as well. You can record the further transactions. Daily, day-to-day petty expenses, vendors bill, and everything. Everything can be maintained in our system. Yes. So Bala Subramaniam ji is having one question. Is quarterly TDS report created based on the bill date or bill due date? Yes, that can be done. There is no concern in that. So when I show you, I would like to show it again. You can find here that we have month wise, then we have here quarter wise also. So if you want a quarterly report, you can fetch the quarterly information as well. That is not a concern here, right? So you can find the quarterly information as well, and the report can be downloaded. Okay, we have few more questions. Showing HSN mandatory while issuing payment voucher receipts, also GST applicable on all income and society, and any limited specified on a guest room rent. So if GST is applicable on you and the amount is more than that, once your payment billing amount is more than 7,500, then GST is mandatory, and yes, you have to enter the SSC code and everything on the tax invoices. Yes, Anand, Pradeep ji, to answer your query. Again, I do have a question from Bala Subramaniam ji, that how GST to be accounted in GST is not applicable to us. Yeah, that I have already discussed. If GST is not applicable on you, then you can treat the GST as an expense, and you can record it as an expense in our dashboard, and it will count as an expense in entire trial balance and profit and loss and everywhere. Sanhita ji is having one question. Every society is mandated to TDS, or TDS registration is applicable. Yes, correct. So it's not, so TDS is applicable on that amount limit, right? So as I discussed, when we are making a payment to a contractor of single bill is more than 30,000, or the entire annual year bill is more than 1 lakh rupees. So these are the certain cases. So if you want those things also, we do have our blogs options. I would like to showcase this to you as well here. You can open that NoBrokerHood dashboard at any time. What we are offering here you is you can go in our blogs. You can here, we have different blogs as well. You can find that GST rules, TDS rules as well. Everything is mentioned here as well. So here we have, that limits as well. So if you want to refer it, you can refer our blogs as well for to keep, updated that what exactly is going on current basis. So to answer your queries, yes, that it's not mandatory that society is having must register with the TDS and they have to comply with the TDS. But yes, if you're making a payment which is beyond that particular limit, then yes, it is TDS is applicable there. Okay, is TDS mandatorily required? What are the consequences of TDS not deducted? Whether the TDS is required to be deducted on a payment made to individual or monthly basis without any contract in place. So, as per the rule, if you are not deducting the payment, not deducting the TDS, the penalty will be applicable on you, right? So it's always, and we have to deposit. So there's a two rule. One is we have to deduct the TDS and deposit into government every month, and then we have to file the returns as well, right? So in the returns, we have to enter that individual information that these are the number of bills which we have received, and these are the payment TDS amount which we have deducted. So you have to, there is a two returns will be. One is creating challan and making a payment, another is filing that TDS return, 26Q. Yes, Yatinder, to answer your queries, you having a just 2,500 rupees monthly maintenance charges with 120 flats count, then there is a no GST, obviously. Obviously, here, maybe if you can check whether the TDS is applicable for you or not. Venkatji, yes, that you. So I'll read the questions for everyone's reference. That Venkatji is having a question. Recently obtained GST number. Still, can I limit maximum maintenance as 7,499 rupees and file nil for every month? Yes, you can if you want. So how exactly our system will help you in that case? Let me just quickly log in with the dashboard. So while we create our billing head and everything, no. Here we have billing tab. So this is what the configuration, that is a one-time process. So when we go and add here billing head, I will click on a modify billing head. Here we have a last option here, tax exemption limit, that is 7,500. So you can just simply set here 7,500 rupees. If the members, it could be, there would be 10 members, right? Out of 10 members, there is a two members where their maintenance amount is more than 7,500, then the GST will be applicable for only those two members. Remaining eight members having the billing maintenance charges is less than 7,500, then there is a no GST. So you can configure that tax exemption limit in our system as per your requirement. That bill will be generated. I hope I'm able to answer your queries, Mr. Venkatji. So yeah, so whatever the amount you are collecting from the non-members, that so there is that will rule will be applied. So there is certain income which is exempt. So that if you need a proper rules and regulations, we can discuss that as well, Mr. Siva Kumarji. You can schedule a demo and we can talk about it in detail. So Pradeep ji, obviously this is not possible because you don't have GSTI number. So I'll read if for questions for everyone's reference that Pradeep ji having a concern that we have not deducted TDS but paid invoices with GST to vendor. Do we need to check if the GST amount is submitted or not? Obviously that is not your concern. If GST is not applicable and you have received the GST invoice and you have paid the entire amount, now that person's responsibilities, that who generated the bill, that is their responsibility to make a tax payment, right? If you want to check whether you have deposited the tax or not, what you can do is you can ask them to share the screenshot of the GST portal whether they have submitted the information or not. That is what you can tell them. But obviously, we don't have anything where we can check cross check, right? Because GST is not applicable on you. Anuj ji, we have a question. We not. No, Anuji, no. If GST is not applicable on you and you are receiving invoices from vendors, obviously that GST amount will be treated as an expense. You cannot claim it as a refund. That is not possible. So, Krishna ji is having a question that my question is how we will deduct the percentage of TDS from vendor list. So, as per the TDS rules and regulations and government norms, there is a proper rules and regulations given on different payment. And if you are making a payment to a professional fees, let's say for auditing and for written filing purpose, that there would be 10%. For the contractor, there would be a 1% and 2%, depending on that person whether he's giving a PAN card or they're not willing to give you a PAN card. So there is a all list is there. If you need, you just reach out to us. I'll share you the detailed report as well. Harshal ji, you can now. I think we can allow. So there are certain questions which is asked in the chat box also. I would like to answer your queries. So yeah, Harshal ji, we already did entries with bifurcation. How can we adjust the previous record? If we add the GST part in a basic amount, the TDS amount will be increased. So yes, that amount will be increased. So how, if you want to see that how exactly that configuration will be work, we can showcase to you. So that whatever the TDS amount you are deducting, so that is not your liability. That is the person. So we can configure it there only. So we can create two ledgers there. So while we are adding here, let me just. I got your questions here. So while we are adding here, the vendor, and we are adding here as an add vendor bill. So one thing you can add here as an, let's say you have received a security bill. You can add a security bill. You can enter the amount and everything, and you can add see whether the TDS is applicable or not, right? Or maybe right. I'll select a vendor details as well. So you can find that TDS rate is 10% at everything, which because we have already configured. Now, if you want to add another ledger, let's say, so you can enter that amount as an 1000 rupees, right? So now you can see that there's no TDS on this. Okay. So that is how. So you can create another ledger as a GST expenses, right? And you can club that with this particular billing only. So this is how you can resolve your concern. No, Chandanji, that is not. You cannot, pass on this benefit to the members. That is the amount which you have collected, right? So ITC is something. What is your total GST payable minus input tax and then net tax payable. So it will reduce the cost of societies, right? Overall cost, operations cost. Yes. So if you split the bill from, that there are certain charges, which are voluntary charges, and then there are certain charges where we have GST is applicable. Yes, you have to pay. These are the questions I have taken. over to you now. There would be a certain questions. If there would be any question which I'm not able to answer you right now, then because of that, in interest of the time for everyone, that I'll answer. We will connect a one-on-one and we can answer that at that time. Yes, over to you, Samri.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akash, for the detailed session, and thank you everyone for being here and being such an engaging audience. We hope this has helped you understand the importance of GST and TDS compliance and how No Broker Hood can simplify it for your society. The recording for this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and will be shared with you via email. Before leaving, please fill out the feedback form. I have sent it in the chat. It really helps us improve for any further queries. Going forward, if there is any one on one required, please reach out to us at hello@nobrokerhood.com. We'll be able to guide you specifically based on your society and your society needs. This is your host, Samreen, signing off. Thanks again for joining us today. Have a good day, all of you.